no prayer, and a prayer is nothing more than a fervent statement of what is so, goes unanswered, because our prayer is of gratitude. Of what is so. Every prayer, every thought, every statement, every feeling is creative to a degree that it is fervently held as truth. To that degree will it be made manifest in your experience. So, like, what degree are you grateful? What degree do you believe? What degree? What's your highest potential? What do you believe? When it is said that a prayer has not been answered, what has in actuality happened is that the most fervently held thought, word, or feeling has become operative. Yet what you must know, and here's the secret, is that always it is the thought behind the thought, what might be called the sponsoring thought. That is the controlling thought. Maybe you can hear a kitty in the background. If therefore you beg and supplicate, there seems a much smaller chance that you will experience what you think you are choosing. Because the sponsoring thought behind every supplication is that you do not have now what you wish. That sponsoring thought becomes your reality. The sponsoring thought, which could override this thought, is the thought held in faith that God will grant whatever is asked without fail. Some people have such faith, but very few. I must have been reading this to Carson at the time because he has a quote here that I wrote down. Every prayer is answered in its own unique way. 3/2/2020, Carson Riley Dragon. And here's what I wrote at the bottom. Whatever future you want is a future reality because you want. Be grateful for this golden moment and its purpose in that future reality, The process of prayer becomes much easier when rather than having to believe that God will always say yes to every request, one understands intuitively that the request itself is not necessary. Then the prayer is a prayer of thanksgiving. It is not a request at all, but a statement of gratitude for what is so. When you say that a prayer is a statement of what is so, are you saying God does nothing but everything which happens after a prayer is a result of the prayer's action? What I wrote. You are the creator. I think that's going to be God's answer because that's my answer. He's asking, God doesn't do anything? That everything happens after a prayer is a result of the prayer's action? If you believe that God is some omnipotent being who hears all prayers, says yes to some, no to others, and maybe but not now to the rest, you are mistaken. By what rule of thumb would God decide? If you believe that God is the creator and decider of all things in your life, you are mistaken. God is the observer, not the creator. So there's the same answer from God, Neil's God, and me as coming from a perspective as my God. You are the creator. God is the observer. And God stands ready to assist you in living your life, but not in the way you might expect. It is not God's function to create or uncreate the circumstances or conditions of your life. God created you in the image and likeness of God. And I mean, like, what if a dog could read this? I mean, don't you think? Do you have to read it for it to be true to a dragonfly or bumblebee? It's true of everything that we see. You have created the rest. Through the power God has given you, God created the process of life and life itself as you know it. Yet God gave you free choice to do with life as you will. I marked this paragraph in orange. In this sense, your will for you is God's will for you. You are living your way. You are living your life the way you are living your life, and I have no preference in the matter. This is the grand illusion in which you have engaged, that God cares one way or the other what you do. So this I'm thinking is buzzing some ears. God doesn't care what you do, but we don't get punished for our choices. It's not that you do right and God rewards. We reward ourselves by believing that we're doing right. When we know we're doing right, we believe it's right and it's the truth. I do not care what you do, and that is hard for you to hear. Yet, do you care what your children do when you send them out to play? It is a matter of consequence to you whether they play tag or hide and seek or pretend. They'll spend their time busying themselves with little toys, and it's not of much consequence to the parent. We just know they're like learning and playing and enjoying themselves. They're experiencing joy and love. No, it is not, because you know they are perfectly safe. You have placed them in an environment which you consider friendly and very okay. Of course, you will always hope that they do not hurt themselves, and if they do, you'll be right there to help them, heal them, allow them to feel safe again, to be happy again, to go and play again another day. But whether they choose hide and seek or pretend will not matter to you the next day either. You will tell them, of course, which games are dangerous to play. But you cannot stop your children from doing dangerous things. Not always, not forever, not in every moment from now until death. It is the wise parent who knows this, yet the parent never stops caring about the outcome. It is this dichotomy not caring deeply about the process, but caring very deeply about the result, that comes close to describing the dichotomy of God. It doesn't matter so much what we do before we learn the thing that we're trying to learn, but the process of our experiences leads to a result, and that's what matters most. Yet God, in a sense, does not even care about the outcome, not the ultimate outcome. This is because the ultimate outcome is assured. And this is the second great illusion of man, that the outcome of life is in doubt. So, the second great illusion of man. So yeah, when it says that, it's like, oh wait, that feels doubtful. And then it just says it like, yeah, it's the second great illusion of man. It is the doubt about ultimate outcome that has created your greatest enemy, which is fear. For if you doubt outcome, then you must doubt Creator, which is you. You must doubt God, which is you. And if you doubt God, you must live in fear and guilt all your life. If you doubt God's intentions,